All right, test. Hello everybody. Привет всем. Today we have an experimental stream which I'm trying to speak English. Let's see how this works out. I started a bit late. I've been having some technical difficulties with OBS, so going to look into this now. So what happened here? I created an Angular app. I called it Here.js Stream UI, and the idea is basically to display chat overlay and some other things. So let me make it a bit smaller. If you've seen my previous stream, you might be familiar with it. The chat will go here, and I've been working on this bottom thing when there is a bar which will have some messages, something like follow me, when the next streams are, all the news and other interesting stuff. So I started working on it, and then at some point I had to restart my laptop, and then OBS lost the whole thing. So I'm going to jump back to OBS and edit again now. The reason it happened is because this is on localhost. It's only available if I run npm start like ngserve. I'm gonna edit to OBS right now. Gonna turn off the studio mode and just go hardcore. Add a new browser. I'm just gonna edit here. And the size should be 1950 by 1080, I think, or maybe 20, like this. For URL, we just put localhost, custom CSS. We do not need that. Let's see if this works. Nice. So we have a chat. We have everything. I'm gonna pull up OBS since we're done with OBS here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this bar in the bottom. I'll come up with better messages, and also I'm going to do some nicer animations because this looks a bit weird. Let me pull up the chat. Yeah, if you're in the chat, say hi. Let me know if how English works for you, if you like that, if you want me to start speaking Russian again. I do have some big plans for the stream. Yesterday I went and checked out a few other streams, and that was very inspiring. People do really cool stuff, so now I want to do really cool stuff. Let's see how this works out. Hey, Space Green Cat. So I'm going, this is rule pipe in stream, which means people can write in Russian, and then I'll just translate it. So I'll keep the stream in English, and Space Green Cat is saying that he'll have to improve his English for my streams. Thank you, Space Green Cat. I'll be happy to help people improve their English. And Georgina says, hi, everything is great. Hi, Georgina. I know that my English is also not perfect. I do have an accent, which I'm working on. We'll see how it goes. It's definitely great to have some practice, because right now, hey, interesting. Because before COVID, I would go to work and I would speak a lot with English speaking people, but not anymore. Now I sit at home. I speak Russian with my family, and I pretty much don't use English, so I'm starting to forget it. Before I was afraid I was forgetting Russian, but apparently not anymore, not during COVID times. So Space Green Cat mentioned that I have Russian tag, and this is why other people will not be able to find me. This is actually a great feedback. Let me see how I can change that. We're doing some stream maintenance. Hopefully that will be quick. I think the edit button will help me. I think I can just add English tag here. No, maybe I have to drop a Russian tag then. Let me see how I do it. Oh, streaming language. Here you go. So I'm gonna switch this to English, and then I'll keep the Russian tag just because I understand Russian. And here, go live notification. I haven't used this before. I would just say Angular time. I'll work later on improving that. Okay, I'm just gonna save it. So now my stream language is officially English, and I'm gonna pull the chat back. And hopefully we'll welcome our first English-speaking viewers soon. I'm pretty excited. So we are gonna work on this bar. I'll show you what I have right now. It's a component named bar. It's pretty simple. It has an ng4. And in the actual component, we do have a list of messages. So one thing I learned when watching other streams is that they show something and then they switch tabs immediately, and then you have no idea what's going on. So maybe I should try doing 2 tabs at once. Let me try it at once. So this way we can see both component and template. Here you go. So the template is pretty simple. It takes those messages and then it iterates over them. We also have ngIf to display only one message at once. So what are the message is first I want to say I stream in English, but I speak Russian. Feel free to ask questions in Russian. The other one is tomorrow. Tomorrow we have an exciting stream with Lёша Хременко. We're gonna continue working on VS Code extension, working on VS Code extension with OpenGiro. I hope I pronounce it right. And let me add character. And then the last one, I'll say, please follow me. We can improve the wording later, but for now, those are the 3 messages which I'll have. So now, hopefully on the screen, it will update the messages. So you should be able to see it in the bottom. I'm not even going to open the browser since I can see the result right here, unless I need something to see what's in the console. So for now, we're just gonna go like that. All right. So the other thing we have is animations. So I'm not an expert in Angular animations by no means. I basically copy pasted this code from tutorial. So what does it do? It has an animation name which I can attach to any element using the add character. So here every single message has a carousel animation. We show one message at a time because ngIf verifies that we only show message with the current index. How do we get the index? Easy. We have interval of 2 seconds, which should be bigger once everything works. But for now, for testing, I think 2 seconds is perfect. So it starts with 0, and then it gets incremented every time, and then we use the modular thing to make sure it's never bigger than number of messages. So it's basically, in our case, this index goes 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2 every 2 seconds. I don't need console log here anymore, and I think I can simplify it using hop. Thank you, IntelliJ. Right, so I don't think we need constructor or ng on init. What I wanted to do is let me make it even faster. I think 2 seconds is a bit too slow for debugging. So that's interesting. So when there is an error, the whole stream disappears. Let me fix the error, and maybe I should not do it with live streams. But it's kind of mind-blowing that I can I can see the result on my stream without having to open the browser. So I'm gonna switch this to 500. Now that should just work. Yeah. So as you can see, it works pretty well, but sometimes it goes up and sometimes it goes down. So what I was trying to do is I was trying to change the height of the thing. So it's 0 initially. Transition means like every time something happens to the element. This, in our case, it comes out of nowhere and it goes into any state. I'm not sure what other states are, but in our case, basically what we're saying here, if it appears. If it appears, we set the style where we set the height to 0, and then we animate. So we set for 300 milliseconds, we slowly set the height to 80. So what I want to do instead is I think I can put it, I can change top, and then it can start as 100 and then it can go to 0 always. And then there is another transition where from any state it goes to nothing, like basically disappears. And I do not think we really need any transitions here. Let me just comment this out for now and see how it goes. All right, so there is some weird stuff happening when things go like very quickly. I'm curious if this is because the overlay doesn't properly update itself. I'm gonna go to OBS and I'm gonna disable this overlay for a second, and then I'll bring it back. How do I hide it? Like this? Okay, so I hid the overlay, I show it again, and it didn't help. Okay, also instead of sliding down, it seems like it changed the height. That's a bit weird, and it's not an OBS problem. It seems like it's a problem in like whatever I'm doing. Let's see. So let me change this back to 4 seconds and see how this reacts. So now it's much slower. That's good. But so in order for top to change, I think we have to set position absolute first. So host will have position absolute, and then also message will have position absolute. Here you go. And then I think the reason it looks very quick is because the interval is 500 seconds, and then the actual animation is 300 seconds. Milliseconds, yes. So let me make animations a bit faster. Okay, now they just disappear and appear because we animate from 100 top to height of 0. Let me switch. There you go. Nice. Nice. Yeah, this is much better. So what we're gonna do is on height, we also gonna change top, but now it's gonna be a negative value, or it's gonna be -100. Let's see how it works. That's perfect. So now they fly away. I don't know whether I should actually leave it. So we have two options. One is we basically take this thing and then we keep it there, and it just change the opacity so it's become less opaque and it basically disappears. And the other thing is we can try both. We can set for the host overflow hidden, and then it will just go up and disappear immediately. Let's see how it works. So I kinda okay. I like this. Let's also see what happens if with the opacity. So we're gonna set the style opacity to 100 initially, and then we're gonna transition opacity to 0. And to see the effect, I'll have to cancel the overflow hidden from here. All right, let's see what the result of this will be. So that's weird. That's not exactly how I expected it to look. Let me change this to 100 ms. Okay. So I think they're consequent. So basically what happens is they go up and then for another 100 milliseconds they disappear. This is not what we want. Instead, what we want is to have opacity here in the same transition. So let's go to 0. And let's see if that works. Doesn't seem so. Maybe the reason is I think opacity goes between 1 and 0. So if I change from 100 to 0, it becomes less opaque but too slow. Oh, perfect. Nice. I can even start with 0.5. Let's see how this works. Okay, refreshing. Okay, so we're gonna have a poll to see what people think. Poll. So what are we doing? Use opacity and go above. Oh, how do we handle disappearing messages? So we can either use opacity and go above, or just go above but cut them off. For some reason it doesn't let me do another F. I guess it's the size, so think of it as double F. Okay, I'm starting the poll. Let me know what you think. I kinda like both. Okay, I'll vote to cut them off. Alright, so it looks like I'm the only one voting. Then it will go. Oh, never mind. We need a tiebreaker. We need the tiebreaker. We need another more vote. Is it coming? 10 more seconds. Use opacity and go above. All right. So that works for me. The great part is I don't have to change anything. So let me drop overflow. It goes a little bit too fast. Maybe 0.8 first. Nice. Cool. So the last thing I want to do here before we get to fun codelab stuff is I'm gonna style the messages better, and then I think I'm done. So one thing I'm also not sure how it works. I scaled the screen so that it's kind of like not full size, so I can fit chat and everything, and now I'm not sure if it's a good idea. Does the quality go down or no? Like, how does that work? Let me know if you know the answer to that. If not, I'll have to ask somebody else. So for message, we want it to be a bit bigger. We do want line height to be the same as the bar height. Font size is gonna be 40. And then we can spend some time and make it fancier, but I think for now this is good. Space Green Cat asks, are you gonna have Discord for streams, specifically for streams, so we can throw out memes? I don't know how to get memes in Discord. Please let me know. I registered to Discord. We have it. I think right now I'm like the only person there. Should be easy to check. Discord. Open Discord. So I put the link in the description. This is me. Let me paste it. How do I do that? Here we go. So I'm gonna paste it in the chat so you can join. We can talk with voice, or you can throw in memes there. I have no idea what it means, but I support memes, so that's good. Right, so we made it a bit bigger. We should have some kind of padding left, maybe of 20. And also I want some kind of, what else are we missing? Yeah, some kind of like emoji or something. So Georgina tried to join and says the invite is invalid. Ay. Okay, yes, I'm getting the same. Let me figure out how to get the invite back. I'm not super familiar with Discord, and I hope I'm not going to reveal any like secret anything while generating new invite. Okay, here are like a bunch of well, I guess I revealed my friend lists, which is okay. All right, let me try this. Now it's a different one. So I'm also going to quickly update it if I can on Twitch. Edit panels. All right, so I heard some sound. I think this means Discord. I heard another sound. Russian. Okay, so I have this. And while I'm here, I'm gonna quickly update the info. I work on codelab.fun, which is an interactive Angular course. You can see it here. The code is here. Submit this, submit that. Okay, so let's see. I heard some. Here is Georgina and Space Green Cat. Hi, man. Hi. I'm not gonna learn right now how to use Discord, but later you can teach me how to properly use it. We tried a long time ago when I was organizing lots of meetups. We were trying to use Discord to communicate, and that attempt failed miserably, but pretty sure it should be better now. Okay, I think I'm very happy with the bar component for now. I'm gonna switch it to stay for 15 seconds, and I'm gonna add some emojis here. So I'm at Russian and English. Okay. Oh no, I added English in the middle of the Russian flag and now it broke it. Uh-oh. Let's do it again. Russian and then English. Yeah, and this is because I guess Unicode emojis consist of 2 emojis. Okay, tomorrow we're working on VS Code extension. We got put fire and then please follow me. I put a heart here. Okay, so this looks good. I'm looking at it right now on the stream. I'm pretty happy with the result. The only thing I wanted to fix is in the bottom right there is this weird gray square. I know exactly why it's there. So when I added this panel, I tried doing stuff which I used to do a long time ago. I haven't done position absolute for a while, but I did like left 0. Oh, it's actually here, right? 300, and it seems like it ignores it. Anyway, I'm gonna just set a width, which is 1920 minus 300, 1620 pixels, and then I get rid of width 100%. Okay, that did not work as I expected. I think I know what happened. So I'm gonna bring back right of 300 pixels and I'm gonna remove the width and let's see if it works. Okay, it seems like now it's perfect. There is no gray square in the bottom right, so it's good. Cool. So I'm happy with that. I'm closing the UI and I'm closing this project. So today I didn't promote this stream too much because we're gonna go in some complex advanced stuff, which is not necessarily technically advanced, but more like, I guess, domain advanced. I'll try to explain. So let me pull up the browser. So some of you probably are familiar with this already, and some of them for others I'll explain right now. So I have this online course which is codelab.fun. It teaches people Angular, works pretty well, but it's really hard to update, and it's also pretty hard to translate. And the reason for that is because all the course material, Typescript, is in Angular components, which seemed like an amazing idea at the time, but definitely it turned out to be not a great idea. I'll show how it looks like. I'll skip the translations for now. So we have a Angular presentation library, which basically allows you to specify to use like components like slide deck, and then you have multiple slides, which here we're using a slide directive, and then just plain content, which kind of worked. I was moderately satisfied with that. It was really easy to get it in, but it's hard to manage. So every time I change one line, let's say I add exclamation mark after JS, I have to build the whole thing. I have to send it to the server, and that's not super fun. So instead, I'm working on a new thing, and let me start the server right now. cd codelab npm start. I wanted to do HMR, hot module reloading. So we just updated Angular to version 11 a couple days ago, and now we are we're gonna try HMR and see if hot module reloading is going to work for us. It's a fairly large app, and what I want to do is I want to convert this format to JSON. And then out of this JSON, in one of the future streams, I'm going to generate the same thing which we just saw, basically this. So we add an intermediate step. This JSON I'm gonna host in Firebase, and I have what you see is what you get, slide editor for it already. It's not, I've been building it for the last few streams. It's not perfect, but it does the job, which I think is good. Let me make myself a bit quieter. Okay, nice. Or if I shouldn't have done that, also please let me know. So for now we are building this app. There is a Webpack hot module replacement something. I just saw it right here. Yeah, so that's exciting. We'll see if it actually works. And I'll show you the editor, which is admin content. Yeah, so it's ugly, but it works. Here is the presentation. So we have, you can drag and drop editors, you can add some text. Also, let me add some text. Hello world. And then this gets saved in a database. So Georgina is asking, don't you want to change the text in the right bar? Oh yeah, good call, Georgina. I'm gonna do this right now. So I'll update this to English first. What's going on? And then this will be chat. And so what are we working on? We're working on converting content for codelab.fun, and then Angular components to JSON format. Thanks, Georgina. That's hopefully it will compile now and it will just update it. Huh. Did I just stop it? I think I stopped it. I don't know why it still appears there. Let me start it. Start. Yeah, and I'll also need to figure out how to deploy it to somewhere so it has a permanent URL, so I don't have to like start and stop it every time. Okay, what's going on here? There's this. So I started on different ports so I can continue having the main app on 4200. And then, yeah. So starting it now, hopefully it will update the sidebar. This is a very small app, so it should be quick. Are you talking about some hosting? Yes, yeah, I probably will use Firebase hosting. The problem now is I cannot deploy it as is because, as you saw, I just made some changes and it updated immediately. And with hosting, I cannot do that. So I'll have to push it to the hosting every time. So I'm gonna, at some point, we'll have a stream where I'll connect Firebase to this thing, and I'll make this thing editable, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, so Space Green Cat messaged in Discord and said, what language? Fmap. looks like what do you mean? That's JavaScript. This is JavaScript. Seems like it's some lambda calculus in JavaScript. We can have a stream on lambda calculus. I guess are those the memes you were talking about? Yeah, but for now we're not gonna do it. It's seems like it's a separate thing, worth its own stream. I have a friend who gave a talk about basically this, but much deeper. So in 40 minutes, out of nothing, he created a whole language. And now when I stream in English, I feel I can invite him and we can do a stream about it together. That should be fun, but it's a bit further away from Angular. So once I'm out of Angular ideas, I guess I'll invite him and we'll do some fun stuff. All right, so where are we? This works. I updated what's going on section. We're working on converting content to for codelab.fun. The only thing, it seems like it ignored my let me jump back to it. Chat. We need some paragraphs here. I really like line breaks, and apparently not everybody likes line breaks. Let's see if that helped. So on the right, the what's going on section should have 2 paragraphs now. Yeah, perfect. Nice. And one thing I want to change is it says, it's still in Russian, it says присоединился. I'm gonna change it to joined. Okay. This should be good. So the question is, how are we gonna convert this to basically JSON? I'll show you how JSON looks like. It's right here. Let me pull up the console. So we have 2 presentations. Specifically, we're looking like at that point just at one presentation, which is the Typescript, which is the one we're going to import. It has a list of actions which we don't care about. The only thing we care about is name, but it's going to say Typescript and slides. So for let me get the IntelliJ here. Space Green Cat says, you guessed that language so fast. There was a chat where people spent half a day trying to guess it. I love lambda calculus. I spent some time trying to playing with primitives, and I think it's a cool topic. Unfortunately, not super useful one. Like it's great to know it, but that's not something I would ask in an interview. I don't think that would help. So, but overall, yeah, I think lambda calculus is very cool stuff, and it was ahead of its time. So we're gonna change this. This is the old format. We're gonna change it to something like this. It's gonna have an ID, which we have right here. It will eventually have a milestone, but we don't care right now. This thing, codelab breadcrumb, we're going to convert this to the title attribute. And all of this is going to go in one block. So we'll have a block with a code of this and type HTML. Georginia says, I think you can extract all translations with built-in I18N. So yes and no. So this is what we actually have been doing so far, and we've been using a pretty cool thing. Let me see if I can remember how it's called. Don't remember. So there was a tool where you upload a file with the translation, and people can collaboratively translate it into Russian, which I thought was very cool. They had a limit on 1,000 messages per project,
for a free tier, but because we're open source, they actually gave us like a free open source tier, and we translated it into Russian. So you can go to codelab.fun/ru, and it will be in Russian. So you can see. Yeah, there are like lots of cool folks helping with that, but it was kind of painful, especially updating things. So every time I change one word anywhere, I have to like extract the messages and I have to send it to that website, which kind of worked. They even had a GitHub hook, which was supposed to pull the translations, but it was never like fluent. It was always painful somehow. I don't know why. So, well, this is the first problem with just using I18N, is you kind of have to reinvent the way you translate things. And the second problem was, and that's going to be a big problem for our work today as well, is having code examples. So this slide is pretty simple. It's just a bunch of HTML and a picture. Yeah, Georgina says rebuild on every word change is kind of painful. Yes, and it was okay while we had to rebuild the whole app. But now with JSON, what we can do is for every text block, there can be like some kind of ID and version number, and then we can technically allow anybody to update the text blocks. So imagine I'm just a user and I come in and I see a typo, like it says Typescript, and I want it to be like CoffeeScript. Okay, I mean, bad example, but let's imagine. So right now, what you're supposed to do is you hit this button, and then here you just say like Eugene Sherlaimov left a message on decorators, and they had a suggestion like, how about we write this instead? And yeah, it's cool that you can leave this feedback, but what if you can just hit like edit button here and just type in whatever you want, and then one of admins can just go and see this, and with one hit of a button just update it. I think that would be cool. And once they do it, what we can do is we change the version, and whatever translation UI, we may have to build it or we may have to find existing one, but it will notify people, maybe like in chat or something, and people will basically go and translate things as they come. So I think that will be very cool. So the problem here is let me find it. The problem starts once we get to something like this. Georgina say I'll have a look. Okay. So we have a code example. How do we encode a code example in Angular template? So the most logical thing, I mean, I don't know, for me, and it was before, would be to go something like this. Angular code, whatever component, and then just throw in the code here, and you're done. Unfortunately, this... oh, Georgina said, I think I've seen schematics for migration from I18N. Migration to what? That's the question. Like, what would be improved version of that? So this doesn't work for multiple reasons. So if you speak Russian, there was on YouTube a whole ng-ru air code lab. Let me see if it's here. Yeah, so we had a ng-ru air where for 30 minutes I explained like why it didn't work and which things I tried. But the main thing is the moment Angular sees an opening curly brace, it goes very confused, and there is no good way to do that. Also, there can be like something like less than, which kind of looks like an opening HTML tag, so that didn't work. And in certain cases you want to output a message, so you can say console log, and then you go something like result is 3. And once you do that, you want it to be translatable. And the problem with that is, well, yeah, you can do 18N here, but then you have to kind of translate the whole example. What if you have multi-file thing? It becomes like very, very complex. So the way I solved it, which is like far from perfect, is to have everything in a component. So here we have a code property, and basically code is an object with a bunch of properties mapping to examples. If you need to translate something, and what I did is a terrible hack, but basically it was like a while ago, I think. Dan asked, hi Dan, if it's possible to use pre-tag. No, so maybe with Ivy that changed, but as I mentioned before, like once you have a free minute, just checked out this the YouTube video, the N0 Air, which is, by the way, I recommend subscribing. It's a cool Russian podcast about Angular. Okay, I just opened the video. But I tried pre, and I think the only way to make it work was like text area. Don't ask me why, but but the text area somehow allowed for curly braces. It kind of makes sense because like if you're Angular, like there is nothing you want to compile inside of text area. But even text area had its own drawbacks. So yeah, I don't want to like redo this whole video. We can go for like 30 minutes. So yeah, so we have translations, which are here. And then what I do inside of the component is I get this div tag, and then I extract translations. So this way we can have all the translations in the template, and then we can use them in the component. I think right now, and I haven't been following it closely, but there is some way to have like JSON translations, and that kind of works, but I think my bet would be that it's much better to just like move on and do either our own thing or compile it into some JSON format, which we can use an existing tool to translate. So we don't need Russian version anymore. So once we want to convert this to this format, the question is like, how do we do it? Like my initial thought would be, okay, so we just use like jQuery or like DOM operations, and then we iterate the tree, and then we just generate those block properties out of it, and it should not be that bad, which kind of works again until we encounter an exercise. So once we get this, and if we do it statically, then all we get is this. So how do we statically get this property? There are ways which are basically what are those? Yeah, just I guess iterate, like parse the TypeScript file, iterate over TypeScript tree, like the AST, and then extract this thing. It sounds like it will be faster to just like go and manually create this JSON structure than to write an AST parser. Like in spite of me saying, like, always saying, oh yeah, it's easy, this specific thing, it seems like it's kind of a bit more advanced. Maybe we could use a tool like Jora, which Lyosha Khrimenko showed us last week. Let me see. So JSON Jora. So this whole thing is part of Discovery.js. Let's see if Discovery.js allows for querying and updating TypeScript. Tutorials, related projects, base concept, model, view page, view. Okay. Yes, it seems like this is more for like making queries for that, not transforming. Okay, so that was one option, and we certainly can do it. The benefit of it is we get to do some fun AST stuff. The drawback is we cannot, for example, inline those things manually. So we can, but that's like an extra step, like another probably like half a day of work. So the way I was thinking of doing that, and I have no idea if it's gonna work or not. I'm going to do it not statically but dynamically. So I'm gonna create a bunch of fake components which will look at their inputs, and then they will somehow pull it up the parent component, which will build up the JSON. If anybody has any ideas on how else to do it, please let me know. But for now, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it, and I'm gonna see if that works. Maybe we can try and get the Fox here and brainstorm with the Fox, because he's really good at this stuff. But I don't know if he's busy. So let me experiment. At least we'll learn something. So that's also good. So I'm gonna I have a routing module. I'm gonna create a module called importer. So schematic, we'll need an Angular module, and then I'll call it importer. And in the same folder, I'll create another schematic, which will be a component, and I'll call it importer. So in this importer, we are okay, so we are gonna try and import the TypeScript module. And we will. All right, then DP just joined Discord. Yeah, just a reminder, we have a Discord server in the description, and we are going to use that for voice communication. So if anybody is tired of typing in the chat and wants to speak with voice, everybody is welcome. You may need to help me figure out how to start the room or whatever we need to do, but otherwise I'd be happy to do that. So we take the TypeScript module and then we add it to the importer module. All right, let's import that, and then in the routing we are gonna add another path, which will be import. We actually can, yeah, let's be consistent. We just go with importer, 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 importer. All right, so name is importer, description lol, page no such thing, and prod false. So those are some additional routing options where it allows not to display some routes in prod, which Sounds like a good idea sometimes. Let's hit this route and see where we get. Oh yeah, we'll get nowhere because importer module doesn't have any routing information. Let's configure it here. So we have routes, and those routes are just going to display importer component everywhere, and we don't need no children. Nope. Okay. No, it doesn't remove unused stuff. I'm just gonna do it myself. And then this routes we pass to some kind of module. Which module is that? Routing module for child, I think. Let's see. Routing module for child. Might be router module. For child, and then we pass the routes, and then we call it importer router module, and then let's import it. Let's import it in the here. Importer. No, okay, no, it's good. Importer. I'm a bit confused as to where we paste all those routes. Oh yeah, we did it in the Typescript module. That's a problem. Okay, I'm gonna undo all of this. And now like this. Here. And now I already know it's router module for children. For child routes. Okay, this should work. So once we do this, we are gonna jump into the importer module, and that's where the magic will start. Let me look at the terminal. It seems like everything compiles. Oh yeah, by the way, then I was able to run the thing with HMR flag, and I got a message from Webpack. Although I don't know if I haven't tried the actual reloading, so we're one step closer. Thanks Dan, who realized that we were like before when we were running it, we were going like npm start HMR, and that didn't work because this flag went straight to npm, and we had to do double dash in order to pass it further to the actual ng thing, which needed it. Cool. So this compiled successfully. Am I in the right folder? Oh yeah, that looks looks much better. Okay. Type cannot read property kind of undefined. This is not a helpful error. This is something I don't wanna see. I assume this is because we did not restart after adding a new module. Although I see, yeah, that should be fine. Yeah, so now you can see hot module replacement is enabled for the dev server. I think even better, we can add it to package JSON, so I can just type npm start and it will run the appropriate command. Alright, so there is some loading going on. Dan said it usually works, adding new modules works just fine. It might be related to adding like routing stuff with lazy loading and things, just because it's not a very common thing to do. Because yeah, just this time restart helped. Technically, I once I'm happy with the JSON state, we can look into that. Try to. Dan said renaming modules is a tricky one, but works most of the time. So we can, at some point, we can try and actually reproduce it, and then once we do, we can try and go maybe fix it, or at least like understand why we cannot fix it, like we did with last time we tried to contribute to Angular. So I'm thinking of doing another stream where I would contribute to Angular, but this time in English. Hopefully sometime next week. And I think it also would be more helpful for the Angular folks just to see how it works. Dan says, I was the one who issued it in Webpack, and as I remember now it works. Oh, nice. Okay, so you created the issue and but not all the time. So you created an issue and somebody fixed it, or did you send the PR? And that is for sometimes renaming modules failed, I assume, right? All right, so we have our children. Let's try Angular just wrapper and issue. That's also a great contribution. Importer, and was just about file renaming. Yeah, I still have to actually. I should verify it with the latest version of Angular. But it still feels like renaming sometimes break things and sometimes doesn't. You're saying it's a Webpack issue. Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. So this kinda little bit works. Importer module, importer component. No, this kind of doesn't work. So somewhere it sneaks in. But I see why you're thinking that NGCLI can have its own reasons why it might fail. Yeah, I personally just didn't think deep enough. I think you're right. It's more like a Webpack level problem. Yeah, I also had to talk about it. I don't know if it was recorded or not. But there was like some bug which I thought was in NGCLI, and I went down like all the way to Karma. And actually I think I sent a pull request there, or issue, I don't remember. But yeah, so you never know in which part the problem is. So we go to importer, we go to importer module, we have our routes, and it's supposed to go to the importer component, but it doesn't. I know what's happening. So we are importing Typescript module, which has its own routing, I assume. Yes, Typescript routing module. Yep. Okay. So we're gonna remove this component. Let's see if it works. Yeah, I don't know what's up with my voice today. I guess it's maybe it's so unused to speak English that it just stops working. Let me take a sip of water. Alright, so I try to speak Corona Moncas. I don't know what that means. I try to speak a bit less and quieter. I can probably make the mic a bit louder and speak quieter. There you go. Cool. So what's happening here? So I say importer module for the path of importer. We pass those routes, and we should display this component. This kind of makes sense to me, but it doesn't work. Let me restart it one more time. Maybe it's some Angular something. Moncas is an illustration of Pepe the Frog, appearing frightened while sweating. I hope it's not Corona, because I feel well otherwise. but yeah, we'll see about that. So I'm restarting. If somebody sees anything I'm doing wrong, please let me know, because in my head this is supposed to work. So I have a routing module which imports importer component and displays it for the empty path. This should work, but it doesn't. Yeah, it says I'm lost. Angular. I see. There is this. This should work. Here you go. Importer works. So now the dark magic will start happening. I'm gonna take this TypeScript component and I'm gonna add it to declarations. I hope that Angular will let me do that without any AOT or anything. Okay, cannot find name. No, come on. TypeScript is listed in declarations of ng module. Yeah, so why are you doing it with me, Angular? So for now, I'm just going to hide the TypeScript component from the TypeScript module. Oh no, maybe not like that. Let's see if this works. So what I wanna do is okay, what's up now? So now, okay, I think this should be fine. So what happened is I have a new module, and then it's complaining that in this module I don't import a bunch of stuff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a bunch of fake components, which is the hacky tricky part. First of all, it says that codelab progress bar is not there. So I'm gonna add a component, Angular component, which, and please don't do it at home. The selector will be first codelab progress bar, and the name is let's export it. It's gonna be trash component because we don't need this component, right? Then says you probably should import some shared module with all your components. So this is what I'm trying not to do. So what I want to do is I want to create fake components which will pick up what is the properties which are passed to them. Slide arrows. So I think I can have multiple components. So I'm gonna fake most of those stuff. Let's see how far I can get with that. Okay, so this is not template. I need template like this. Cool. So I have this component. Now I'm gonna pass it to declarations. So next is I'm gonna have slide deck. So this page is gonna have a bunch of components which will look at their inputs propagated to the very top component and send all the inputs there. I think I'm still not sure I have like enough brains to do that, but let's see. All right, so at least it compiled. So now we're gonna create a slide deck component, which is going to, I think, literally just say ng content. Fake deck So those things, I'm gonna create those fake components, and I'm gonna run the import, and then I'm gonna delete those fake components forever. So this is not something I'm going to commit to Git or anything. The only reason I need to do that is so in the runtime, I get to the access to what calls this component. This is a little bit mind-blowing for me, and I guess if you're confused, please ask questions. I'll try to explain it better. Okay, so in the importer component, I'm gonna run the TypeScript component. Let's see how it works. Multiple components match node with a tag name slide tag. I was trying to avoid it. Dan says this is some 5-head thing, custom BTTV emoji with a big head. Let me see, 5-head. Yeah, this is, so I did not promote the stream much because, yes, because it's like this basically. We can probably copy, how do I download this picture? Okay, save image as, and then I'm gonna put it in the folder next to chat. Okay, I think it's next to dog. Here, so I'm gonna put it here. Okay, and then I'm gonna put it here. So I'm not gonna put it in. Okay, 5-head. Yes, head. So I just use CSS to inline emoji just because we're already doing weird stuff. Background, URL, head. This thing has double PNG, which I guess for this stream should be fine. Background size, cover. Will this work? Okay, and I should update the stream description. We're doing really weird Angular stuff. Please don't try it at home. Right, did it compile? Ah, okay, so just still compiling. All right, good enough. Yeah, today will be weird, but I personally I thought about like for like why for the last whatever time I was streaming, like a few weeks, I was thinking of like what would be the best way to convert it, and I couldn't come up with anything better than this. Yes, double PNG fits even better. Yes, that's why I kept it. So we're gonna, those are the new errors. They added some new errors in Angular 11, which I think is pretty cool. So we can read more about that. So there are 2 or more components which use the same selector. Fine. How do I debug the error? Okay, so this is not very helpful, despite like I know the problem exists. I know why it exists. How do I not provide slide deck? So I think I should go even higher level in the routing hierarchy. There might be, let me see what the top router module does. Yeah, they even have a video. I don't know if I want to see a video. If I see an error, I think I personally would want to see like something I can copy paste so it looks better. Okay, so what do we do here? We have roads. This is a different app. Right. So we'll look at the main app routing module and the main app module. Let's see what imports. Yeah, so it imports all this stuff, and I don't want it. I don't want it. Maybe I think if I comment this out, then I'll get in big trouble, right? So we still need the browser module. We still need the routing app routing module. All right, let's. Oh no, it compiled successfully. Okay, that's interesting. So it cannot import Angular Fire. I respect that. Okay, we can keep Angular Fire. I don't know why it's there. Did it for Zoomers. I guess. How old are Zoomers? Are they Zoomers age? Those like 20. Okay, young people. Right, so we are going back to Angular importer. Let's see if it works. There are still multiple components match the same tag name, slide deck. I wish there was some way to track where everything is coming from, and that's actually a cool idea for DevTools. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a completely new project. So I go back, and then I go ng, I think it's create. Connect to the Wi-Fi network. You might want to check the connection settings in the Google Home app. All right, I'll ignore that. Ng create codelab importer. Then it's ng new. This is actually like, I don't know if it's a bug or not, but like if you say create, very unlikely you meant update. I think you probably wanted to say like new, right? Is it new? All right. Do you want to okay, I don't care. Do you like routing? No. Okay, Giorgini, so the actual problem is I want to convert this to JSON. So let's do that. Let's do some real world example. Let me find the slide. Okay, so here is a good example. I'll go to learn Typescript, codelab.fun, ID type trace. Okay, I go to Typescript, and then there is a typed erase milestone. Yeah, I know it probably looks like I went crazy and doing like some weird stuff, and maybe somebody will come up with a better example. Oh, with double selectors. I don't want double selectors. So what I want to do is I want a bunch of fake things out there. Okay. So I'm creating a fake component which will do the importing, and there is the real component which I want to be out of the way. So this is what's happening. I think what I'll do is, yeah, I'll just go and copy paste all this stuff, and it will work hopefully much better from there. I don't need stream UI, so right here, okay, I don't need Angular update guide, importer. So I take this whole importer folder and I move it to the new thing. Where is my project structure? Okay, now I need the project structure. Okay. But I probably should have done some kind of more tangible example of import module. Of what we're converting to what? Codelab importer. Okay, here you go. Okay, create from existing sources. It's Angular. All right. And then I'm gonna take this importer thing, and I'll just paste my importer stuff right here. Boom. And I'm gonna take the TypeScript thing, and I'll just copy paste the TypeScript component. Yes. Okay. So this this makes me happy. Yes, basically I want to override the component and keep its selector. Exactly. I don't care about selector, I just want to override the component. You got the idea. And this is why, so I'm just gonna create a new app which will not have all this garbage from the old app, and the new app will do the weird dark magic. Right, so what's this code? Yeah, so there is again, talking about parsing this statically, the problem is some code is actually in the files. So I import them with oh no, okay, okay. So I think I just yeah, I do require raw loader blah 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 blah, which in runtime will be all resolved for me, which I still think despite us being really weird crazy stuff, I think it's still better. All right, codelab importer npm start right here, and then we need importer module. We don't need routes anymore, do we? No. Okay, so now I pass importer module to the app module, and then I'm gonna bootstrap the importer component, which I don't know if we need a component for that. I think yes, I think we do. I think once we get to the importing part, we'll need that. I think I need to export it. Let me see if IntelliJ will do it for me. All right, this is good. And then declarations, bootstrap importer component. Okay. Okay, so this I think we're close to making it work. Where is the? We need to fix a couple things here. Why is this a problem? The selector should be prefixed by app. I don't care. Okay, I need a different import for the TypeScript component, and then for that I will need some kind of helper, some helper module, something, right? Where do I find that? So I need this and I need that. All right. I think maybe I can just import it directly. Oh, it wouldn't let me. Okay. So exercise will be empty for now. And then TypeScript with console log. Let me just copy paste it. This is some legacy stuff which I'll happily burn it once we migrate. Alright, I'll just copy paste the whole helpers folder. Alright, TypeScript code, just have helpers here. And then I can use those, I can just import those helpers from here. Import, perfect. And then there should be another thing. Yeah, so this is very hardcore legacy stuff. Okay, looks like yeah. Looks like we're getting there. So now we are getting errors about all those missing things, which is perfect. Require any. I don't know if we still need that. So what are the missing components? Extract messages. All right, we need that. Let me see if there is anything else. I think that's the last thing missing. So I should be able to just like copy paste it here too. I hope it doesn't have any dependencies or anything. Yeah, okay, this looks like a very simple function. Let's go there. Where is the TypeScript component? TypeScript. I don't know, helpers. Just throw it in here. And if you think like you have no idea what those methods do, neither do I. I'm not even going to look. I know like I need it and I know where to copy paste them from. So that's basically it. We do have a stricter type checks. So I'm just gonna throw in any, since that's not the code we're gonna use anytime, anywhere. So feedback. So now I'm gonna start and mock all the components out there and get the inputs. I don't know if we're having one component is good enough, or if we need to have like one component for each. Let's see. So where is the import module? Importer module. Yep, here. So we need a component called feedback rating. Feedback rating. And I call it feedback rating. Right, and then I just pass it to declarations. Boom, that should solve it. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to create a bunch of components, fake components, so we can run the whole thing and see what the result will be. Looks like we need a lot of components. I'll see, like once I create several, I'll see if there is any way to kind of optimize it somehow. Breadcrumbs. All right, so breadcrumb component done. Closing slide. Yeah, I basically look at what selector is missing and create that closing slide. So how can I optimize this? What did I do? How can I, instead of typing in 5 places, how do I type in 1? Nothing I can think of. Alright, wow, that's a lot of scrolling. Codelab exercise. So this this is a component with a bunch of inputs. Okay, yeah, so I see people running away from the stream, which is understandable. So if this is too complicated, I guess what I'm gonna do next time is just do it outside of the stream, so people are less confused. This is definitely not super friendly for... Alright, so this should have an input of exercise. Alright. What else is missing? Same. Something. It has an input of presets. This, I think I can just copy paste from the real exercise component. Here it is. So let's see what it has: exercise, and it extends code demo component. Ooh, that's lots of inputs. I'll just copy paste this for now. I'll just set all of it to any. All right. Any. That looks good to me. I don't know why it highlights it. Oh, suffix component. Fine, I don't care about the suffix. Cool, let's see what other things are missing. If somebody just joined, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to recreate the structure of existing component, all the imports and other things. Cannot bind. So next thing is codelab exercise preview. It seems like it's exactly the same thing. So I'm just going to copy paste that. Code lab. I just paste it here. Alright. That seemed like a bit less scrolling. Property exercise is private. Okay. Why is it private? Let's see. I'm fixing this. It says property exercises is private. Should not be. Gonna make it public. It's easy. Next thing, it says there is no component called exercise codelab exercise playground. I'm gonna create it. I'll just do this for now. I'll just add it to the existing selector. Property code is private and only accessible. Interesting. So I guess we have a stricter rules now, and that's why it is complaining. I'm gonna remove private. It's good enough. To use ng module, we do have to have forms module imported. That's an easy fix. Where is importer module? Here we're just gonna import forms module. Yes, this is a strict template type checks. I think the reason I'm confused is because we had it at work for like, I'm not afraid to say years. And I didn't know I didn't have it here, but apparently I do. So, okay. Next thing is code demo editor. I don't think I have it yet. Nope. This should have comparable inputs to this. So I'll just copy paste. Okay, we're somewhere close. I see like less and less scrolling. Font size. Type A. Okay. Font size. I just say any. Doesn't matter. All right, I'm gonna go close the window for a second. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so it says font size. I didn't just fix that. Line numbers. And that doesn't exist apparently. Okay, I'll create it, not a problem. It's gonna be any. Type any is not assignable to never. So we and then says I would make it more loose in tsconfig instead of fixing. Yes, that's a good point. I'm gonna go to tsconfig and is it tsconfig or AngularJSON? Strict templates. False. 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 There you go. So, I think we're geniuses. Did it help? No, right? Okay, so what is this error? So we have TypeScript component and it says type any is not assignable to type never. Why do we have type never? Oh, that's because I assume that this directive does not exist. So let's create a directive called yes. Here we go, directive. Do we need a restart for that? Good call. Actually, I think it disappeared. I don't see that error anymore. So if you see anything related to strict type checks, please let me know and I'll restart. Or if I notice something. So we're creating a fake directive to fix this error. That code demo highlight is not a real thing. Class is code demo highlight directive. I don't really need to name it really well, but I also don't want to give it a name like a goat or something, or horse. Don't think that will improve my life later. Okay. Type null cannot be used. Yes, I do feel like I have to restart. No, then said today I learned that we can change tsconfig on the fly. It doesn't seem so. This seemed like, let me show the error again. So we are using attribute as index, and because attribute can return null, TypeScript is complaining that you cannot use null as index. And this seems to me like that's a stricter type checking in the template. So not gonna fix that. Okay, so it seems like that's a different error. Failed to find exported name of node. I don't know what this is. Exported export as. Let's see, export as. So apparently I tried to export it somewhere, but I don't know why. So, but I don't mind that. Code demo highlight. Oh no, where is the directive? I think that should do it. Okay, we're getting less and less errors. That didn't help. Then says they might also have some other strict rules that aren't in the Angular section of tsconfig. that's possible. If somebody knows where we can disable it, please let me know. Okay, so tsconfig, yeah, we're going to tsconfig and we do like no implicit any. Huh. Yeah, I think I have to add it. Maybe it's default now. It's actually a shame that I have it. Or do I have it? No, I actually don't have it in my projects. This is runtime configuration. No implicit any false and strict false. Or I don't know if strict overrides. No implicit any. Restarting. Yeah, clearly it doesn't pick it up on the fly. We are very close to being done. There is some file config missing. Where is that? Oh, helpers. Where is the helpers thing? Is it file config? So this is gonna be file config. It's any. Why is this an error? But it's not an error. Why is it highlighted? Okay. Yeah, this is getting a bit long and boring. I think I have a meeting in 10 minutes, so I'm gonna cut off then. But I think so. Then I know you have a badge because you were on some glitch con stream. Is it possible to give badges for people who survived through this stream? I think that's highly deserved because this was a very confusing stream. All right, let's see what the errors are. File config. So what I'm doing now is like a dream of people who don't like TypeScript, just switching everything to any and like no strictness whatsoever. Unfortunately, we can't. Okay, that's too bad. I think I saw some like custom badge section or something. I'll do that later. Or like maybe give VIPs. I think I only have 10 VIPs, and half of them are used. But all right, so we're very close. Failed to find exported name of nodes, and then of node, and then there is this directive. Why is it because I don't export it? Oh, I think I don't export it. That's why. Let's go to the module. Yes, I did not export it. It's the wrong thing. Oh, it's only for paid subscribers. Okay. Yes, this compiled. So we have a successful stream. Cool. Slides importer did not match any elements. Why is that? What I want to do is go to the original app and just undo everything we did there because we're not gonna go there. All right, so we created importer. Unless we do have some legit changes. Yeah, we do have some legit changes. This is shame on me for not committing. I'll do it later then to save everybody's time. So what can we do in the remaining few minutes? Okay, we can try and fix this slides importer thing. Okay. Did not match any elements, but it's not used anywhere. I don't see it being used anywhere. Why is it complaining? Okay, up.ts. Okay, no, we don't need that. Don't need that. That's weird. Okay, this is lots of stuff. Importer. Oh, I think I bootstrap slide importer anyway. Okay. Importer module. Probably I have to export slides. Where is the importer thing? Okay, so I have declarations. I'll export it and then hopefully it will work. Nope. Oh, yes. Okay, I know what's going on. I have in the index HTML, I have to have this selector. Instead of uproot, we're bootstrapping the other one. Okay, it looks like your application or one of its dependencies. So this is because in the TypeScript file, we do have a bunch of I18Ns. Can I just remove them? I don't think so. I think I'll have to add the localized thing. Okay, and that will be the last thing I'll do for today, I think. Unless it just magically starts and then I'll also look and enjoy it. So please let me know if me speaking English changed your experience, if it was like hard to follow, or what are your thoughts on this dark magic which we did today. And also let me know like if there are people who are really excited to see this, I can do it on another stream, because this while this is very confusing, I also think like this is a very important part. Like we need to get the content in the content editor somehow. So I'll have to do it, and if there is not much interest, I'll just not gonna stream that, not to confuse people, and just do it outside of the stream. Meanwhile, I'll have to find the polyfills file. Where is it? Angular JSON package. Here you go. There is some ngCli command which does it for me. Alright, why is it complaining? I guess I have to install nglocalize, right? Yes. Ng-add. Got it. So I can just run. Okay, so Georgina says all awesome, though I had to distract. Yeah, that's understandable. Everybody has to get work done. Okay, so maybe I can do streams and I put like a hardcore hashtags, and then people who don't want to do hardcore stuff just won't join. Okay, are we ready to witness some magic? So who can we rate? Devs playing, quiz NASA. No, multiple. Oh, I think I might have started. How is it possible? Multiple components, tag name slide deck. Let's see. Maybe I actually do have. Oh shit, my bad. Fake deck. Right. While it's building, I'm gonna see what's interesting there is on Twitch. Right, coding, memes, Go, Rust. Oh, Vulkan. I have no idea what this is. Unity. Начинаю работать над стейтами. That looks potentially related. Oh wow, I have 500 viewers. I guess I should rate English-speaking channels. Code reviews and chat. This is some French stuff. Front-end interviews. Game development. I don't see anything TypeScript. Angular. Oh, that's me. I cannot rate myself, right? So I'm not gonna do that. I guess we're not gonna rate anybody today. I couldn't find. Right, there is replace is not a function. I need draw loader. All right. I think this is it for today then. Let me get back in the chat. User's Mouth is a very popular gamer that tries to develop their own game. That's very cool. That's very cool. Right, so tomorrow, it's actually on the screen right now, we are gonna work with Alexei Krimenko on VS Code extension, which will do some Angular refactoring. I'm very excited about that. Please follow me, and big respect for everybody who stayed throughout. I'll see if I can find like some way to acknowledge that, and everybody have a good day.